All right, Dr. Erwin Nievergelt, born April 29th, 1929, died August 4th, 2018, from Switzerland, as you can see by the flag. He was a mathematician and an economist, but for about a decade and a half, he played top-level chess. In 1954, he came second in the Zürich International Tournament, ahead of world champion Max Erwin, and Nievergelt was part of the five-time Swiss championship team. He also founded the Aron Nimzowitsch Chess Club in Zurich. And here we have E4 and C5, another Sicilian defense. Knight F3, Knight C6, another old Sicilian. D4 is bringing us to another open Sicilian. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, Knight F6, Knight C3, and D6, another classical variation. Bishop C4, once again, Veniamin Sosin's attack. E6, bishop B3, bishop E7, both sides castle their kings, and now bishop E3 here. This is your main line. Bishop D7, pawn F4, knight takes knight, bishop takes the knight, and bishop C6, super attacking the E-man, which is defended by the queen on E2. Pawn b5, knight takes the pawn, and pawn e5 here. Usually bishop takes knight is played. Let me show that right quick. After queen takes the bishop, this is now undefended, so knight takes pawn. And after f5, e5 puts the question to this bishop, which retreats to e3. Coming back, in this game, e5 was played here. Pawn takes the pawn, pawn takes the pawn, and now bishop e3. And white already has the splinter's edge, doesn't he? This gets a big red X, the bot calling for queen d7. And queen d7 accesses g4, doesn't it? Also, battery attacks our knight. We only have one defender, so we'd have to play knight c3. Don't try to get cute with some sort of rook d1 move. If rook d1, then the aforementioned queen g4 can be played. And your queen is overworked. You can't take their queen without leaving your knight hanging. Of course, taking their queen comes with tempo. I grant that. But the bishop's on priests. Right, if I take, I counterattack. It's really complex, isn't it? And the black is favored by the eval bar. So don't try to get cute here. Instead, just bring your knight back. Now, this is under super attack, so he can still take that pawn, can't he? Come back. A6 was played. Knight c3, knight takes pawn, just like in the alternate line. Bot calling for the queen to d7 here as well. You can also, I like anyway, a5 with the idea of a4. I get a star. Queen a5 seems like it also would keep a good fight going, right? You get a check mark. And then here I would play queen's rook to d1. Don't play queen c4. That gets a question mark. Changed to inaccurate. But after rook a c8, you might have some trouble. But rook a d1 should be perfectly fine. Probably bishop c5 here, etc., 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 etc. Anyway, knight takes the E-man, and now rook takes the F-man. Wow, double exclam for Bobby Fischer, opening the A2, G8 diagonal. Rook takes the rook. Bishop takes with check. And now why not take here, you ask? Well, this one's undefended. So if takes, then queen c4 gets back your mat, baby. Come back. He played king h8. Queen c4 anyway. Knight takes knight, compels bishop takes knight. And then rook d1 hits their queen. To be honest, I thought here that queen f3 might be cute. Super attacking the pawn. I get a star. Sometimes cute is cute. Don't forget, when you try to get cute, that's when things tend to get ugly. But sometimes it works out, and this time it did. Queen c4, though, not liked by the annotator. Bishop g5. Knight takes knight here. Inaccurate. I have no problem with this move at all. The bot saying king h1. You can move that on the subsequent turn. I have no problem with that move. All right, what about queen takes bishop, you ask? No, I don't think so, because because bishop takes bishop with check, right? Here, big red X, check, king h1, check. It gets ugly pretty fast, ladles and jelly spoons. In fact, if black wants, he can just take the draw here, right? You can't play to f1 or you're self-mated. You guys see the checkmate? Boom! And then queen d2 is coming. Whether you come to e2 or e1, queen d2 is checkmate. Either way, knight covers these, bishop covers that, queen covers everything else. Really cool checkmate, to be honest. So that's why the repetition is forced. Okay, well, Bobby with knight takes knight. It gets in inaccuracy, but there's nothing wrong with that move. Bishop takes the bishop here with check, king h1, queen d7, defending the bishop. Bishop b7 is the better way to make the bishop safe. Queen d7, now bishop h5, and he wants to come to f3, doesn't he? Bishop b5, bishop d4 is a better move in my sights. You can prevent rook d1 by playing rook d8. That would be a move. But here, bishop b5 hitting the queen, queen b3, queen d4, knight d6. Oh, the queen's overworked. Queen takes knight, queen takes bishop. Bishop c6. Go right back to d4, says the bot, and put the question to your counterpart. Bishop c6 was played, bishop f3, and that gets a question mark. White should play rook d1, hitting the queen and taking control of the open d file, or set queen somewhere, and then put your pawn on b3. Come back. Bishop f3, and now e4. Trade the bishops, says the bot. Right, and after queen takes bishop, rook f8. That's going to force the queen to move again. Then rook f4 forces the move again. And here, white might have to just take a repetition. Right? Well, it says that is... Well, now it says it's best. At first it said inaccurate. And black has secured the draw, hasn't he? e4 was tried by Dr. Nievergelt, bishop e2. Now you might think, hey, I've got two attackers, why not take the pawn? Bishop e2 is better than taking the pawn because you're going to get yourself pinned. And even if you protect, I've got another attacker that can come in. 3 attackers, 2 defenders, overpower! Bishop takes bishop here is not too easy. You have to play bishop and rook against a queen. You do have 2 pawns to boot, but I'm not sure this is easy to play. Anyway, bishop e2 avoids all that and keeps the eval bar in your favor. Rook d8 builds the battery, h3, h6. Play queen b4 and hit the pawn. Queen b8 pretty much does the same thing. Yeah, but that's marked inaccurate, and now queen e5 is called for. Okay, anyway, h6, fickle bot. Rook d1 here. Right, don't take the free pawn, so-called, because queen d2. Back. Rook d1 is the move. Queen f6. Rook takes rook check. Queen takes rook. We get queen bishop in the endgame. Now bishop takes the pawn. Yeah, b3. b4 is also fine, I would think. Yes. You can also play a3 first. Yes. All these moves are going to get stars. Bishop takes pawn was played. Queen d5 was tried here, attacking the A-man. Queen d1 is more efficient, winning the C-man at least. Coming back, queen d5 was tried. a3, b3 being apparently the better choice. Bobby opting to put his pieces on squares opposite in color to his opponent's bishop. Queen d1 can be played here now as well, but instead h5. Same as before, he could have forked the king and the c-man. b4, queen d1 now is played. Inexplicably, black does not capture the pawn. I don't understand. Why not just take this? It's a star. I mean, I'm coming to g5. I should be winning anyway. What? Well, the eval bar agrees with me. This is fine. H4 was played. Queen F4. Queen E1. Still could have taken the pawn. Doesn't much matter here. Queen D8's no better. On Queen D8, I'm going to play Queen E5. And you're running out of stuff to do. You have to stop me from coming to H5. Queen E1 was tried. B5, bishop D5, B6, E3, B7, bishop takes the pawn, Queen F8 check, King H7, bishop D3 check, pawn G6, Queen F7 check, King H8, Queen takes G6. So don't take the bishop. That's actually what your opponent is hoping for. Look at the eval bar. That allows a repetition. Hello. And I'm just going to go back and forth. So, Bobby not taking the free bishop. He plays queen takes the pawn, threatening checkmate. Black resigned. No repetition here because the queen covers the checking square. If you want to play queen G3, that's fine with me, baby. I'll take these pawns to the bank. I'll just take the pawn and go on to win. Let's look at the numbers here. 92.4 accuracy for Fischer with a 2750 single game assessment. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed the show. Appreciate everybody's input tonight. Thank you for the one subscription that we got tonight from Stayman USA. God bless you all. Until next time, have a great day and play some great chess. Bye now.